and his son owned a saloon, and which was one of the common things that the Irish did. But the Irish came over from Ireland, where they had been a colony of the British for 600 years, and they were not under the law. They were not allowed to practice law or practice any profession. They weren't allowed to learn to read or write in some jurisdictions, some time periods. I actually visited my ancestral home over there, and there was an article about a priest who had been hanged for teaching some of my ancestors how to read in what they call the hedge schools, these secret schools behind the hedges. And they weren't allowed to own land or participate in politics. So when they landed in the United States, they took to politics like a starving man takes to food. And they became, very adept at it. And they took over Boston, essentially. But my great-grandfather on one side was John Fitzgerald. My great-grandfather on the other side was Patrick Kennedy. And they were both in politics. Patrick Kennedy was in the legislature. He was a political boss in Boston. And their children married. My grandfather, Joseph Kennedy, he won the Mayor's Cup for best baseball player in Boston. And he ended up going to Harvard. He was one of the first Irish Catholics to go to Harvard. He then became a bank examiner. He was the youngest bank president in the country at age 26. And during the Great Depression, or just before in the 20s, he made a huge amount of money on the stock market.